Is it really a tragedy to be labeled as a loser? This question might change your perspective on life. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus, known for his profound wisdom, once remarked on the nature of true value in life. He challenged the conventional markers of success, wealth, fame, and societal approval, as fleeting and superficial. Instead, Epictetus championed the pursuit of inner virtues, values that remain unshaken regardless of external circumstances or the fickle opinions of others. He pointed out a paradox in our relentless chase for achievement and recognition. In this pursuit, we often miss out on something much more profound, a state of inner peace and contentment, untainted by external unpredictability. Our fear of being perceived as losers leads us down a path of unnecessary suffering, all for the sake of others' approval. It's a tragic irony, as Epictetus observed, that by placing our bets on external achievements, we become slaves to them, sacrificing our own happiness and freedom. He urged us to embrace what he termed lesser things, and to be prepared, if necessary, to be seen as losers by societal standards. If that's the cost of true freedom and happiness, Epictetus argued, it's a price well worth paying. In this video, we're not promoting self-neglect or harm. On the contrary, we're delving into the Stoic perspective, particularly that of Epictetus. We'll explore his philosophy on what really matters in life, redefining the concept of being a loser, and understanding why being perceived as one might not be as negative as it seems. What is a loser? A loser, in a term that's often misunderstood and misapplied. According to Merriam-Webster, a loser is a person who is incompetent or unable to succeed. But let's think about that for a moment. What really defines competence and success? These are subjective terms varying from person to person. For some, running a small hair salon is a pinnacle of success, while for others, success is as grand as colonizing another planet. The truth is, our definitions of competence and success are shaped by the ever-changing tides of culture, society, and personal beliefs. Now let's place this idea of being a loser in the context of our modern consumerist and capitalist societies. Here the term is often tied to the pursuit of external achievements, particularly wealth and fame. People have created a standard checklist for a successful life, a lucrative job, an attractive partner, the ideal family, and perhaps a house with a white picket fence. For some, it extends to having a massive social media following and a vibrant social circle, symbols of popularity and desirability. But what happens if you don't tick these boxes? Society might label you a loser. But here's a thought to ponder inspired by the wisdom of Stoic philosophy. Epictetus, a great Stoic thinker, once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." In the context of our discussion, this could mean listening to our inner values and understanding, twice as much as we adhere to societal expectations. It's about redefining success on our own terms, not as a universal checklist, but as a personal journey. Remember, being a loser in the eyes of society might just mean you're courageously marching to the beat of your own drum, embracing your unique path in life. So, let's challenge these labels and redefine what it means to be successful, competent, and ultimately fulfilled. Offer 2. Focus on what is within control. In the pursuit of what's generally desired, many find themselves labeled as failures, unable to grasp the elusive success that society dangles before them. This notion of failure is a double-edged sword, not only signifying a lack of achievement in the eyes of others, but also subjecting one to ridicule. Yet, we must pause and ponder, is the attainment of these societal benchmarks truly what we should aspire to? And is the scorn for not achieving them genuinely meritorious of our concern? This is where the wisdom of Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, becomes particularly enlightening. Epictetus challenges us to question our desires. Why do we yearn for material wealth, social media fame, or other external validations? These things, appealing as they may seem, promise happiness, a promise that is often fleeting. We envision a life where admiration and luxury are abundant, where our social media profiles are flooded with likes and comments symbolizing our worth and success. Yet, this perceived happiness is transient. Even if we attain such a life, the novelty soon wears off, returning us to our original state of contentment, but now with a higher cost of maintenance. Epictetus regarded these external possessions as trivial, viewing them as weak, enslaving, and crucially, outside our realm of control. Consider the words of another Stoic philosopher, Seneca. "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." This quote aptly encapsulates the essence of Epictetus's teachings. Our pursuit of external validation and fear of ridicule are often magnified in our minds, causing unnecessary distress. In modern life, where the pressure to conform to societal standards of success is immense, Epictetus's philosophy offers a refreshing counter-narrative. It encourages us to focus on what is within our control, our actions, our responses, and our values. By doing so, we can find true contentment and resilience, unswayed by external judgments or fleeting pleasures. This Stoic approach is not about embracing defeat, but about redefining what it means to be successful on our own terms, grounded in virtue and inner strength. It's a reminder that sometimes, being a loser in the eyes of the world can be a victory in the journey of self-mastery and inner peace. 3. The cost of pursuing external goals. In chasing things like wealth and fame, we pursue the unreliable, as we chase what can be taken away in a heartbeat. That's what chasing these fleeting desires is like. And the price? It's steep. People often pay it, sacrificing so much in the process. Take, for instance, someone aiming to triumph at the Olympic Games, a goal that still commands immense respect today. But let's pause and think about the sacrifices involved. Epictetus paints a vivid picture. You must conform to rules, submit to a diet, refrain from dainties. Exercise your body, whether you choose it or not, at a stated hour, in heat and cold. You must drink no cold water, nor sometimes even wine. In a word, you must give yourself up to your master as to a physician. Imagine that, giving up your freedom, your choices, all for a fleeting moment of glory. And even then, in the heat of competition, you might find yourself face down in the dirt, injured, defeated, and all your efforts gone in vain. So, we must ask ourselves, is it truly worth it? Marcus Aurelius, another Stoic philosopher, questions the wisdom of enduring such hardships for mere a clacking of tongues, the fickle praise of the public. Epictetus warns us, these things are not consistent. The adulation we seek can turn into scorn in a heartbeat. As Seneca once said, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. This is a call to reflect on our pursuits and question whether the sacrifices we make for external validation are truly in line with a life of meaning and inner peace. Remember, the most valuable victories are often those won within ourselves. Therefore, inner qualities versus external achievements. In the profound teachings of Epictetus, we find a striking emphasis on the value of inner qualities over external achievements. He teaches us that the pursuit of contentment, joy, right action, tranquility, and the power of restraint is far more worthy than chasing external validations. This distinction is crucial in understanding the Stoic philosophy. Epictetus urges us to recognize the difference between the essence of things and the perceptions we form in our minds. Take, for instance, his perspective on familial relationships. He points out that while we may view our loved ones as unique and irreplaceable, at their core, they are human beings just like everyone else. It's our perception that elevates them in our eyes, not their inherent qualities. This insight extends to all external pursuits. What makes an object desirable? Is it the object itself, or is it our perception of it? Often we are like sheep, desiring what others desire and shunning what they disregard, including the notion of being a loser. Epictetus's wisdom resonates deeply in our modern lives, where external achievements often overshadow inner growth. In a world that celebrates winners and shuns losers, Epictetus offers a refreshing perspective. He reminds us that being a loser, in the eyes of society, if it means staying true to our inner values, is not a defeat but a victory of character. As Marcus Aurelius, another Stoic philosopher, said, The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice. This quote aligns perfectly with Epictetus's teachings, encouraging us to find strength in our values rather than societal validation. In essence, Epictetus's philosophy teaches us to focus on what we can control: our reactions, our values, and our actions. By doing so, we can navigate life with a serene mind and a resilient spirit, embodying the true essence of Stoicism. This approach is not just philosophical but practical, offering guidance in our daily lives. It encourages us to reevaluate our priorities, focus on personal growth, and embrace the freedom that comes from detaching ourselves from external validations. 5. Perception versus reality. Imagine this: society often chases after certain ideals: wealth, popularity, success. But is it always right to follow the crowd? Epictetus challenges us to consider happiness and freedom as our ultimate goals, even if it means going against the grain. Picture yourself living a simple life, meeting just your basic needs, without the frills of an exciting social life, a romantic partner, a bustling social media presence, or a high-profile job. In such a scenario, you might be labeled a loser by societal standards, but ask yourself, is being a loser really a misfortune? Or is it just a label imposed by others? This fear of being seen as less is often an ego-driven narrative we tell ourselves. Epictetus, with his razor-sharp logic, cuts through this illusion. He says, and I quote, "These reasonings are unconnected. I am richer than you, therefore I am better. I am more eloquent than you, therefore I am better. The connection is rather this: I am richer than you, therefore my property is greater than yours. I am more eloquent than you, therefore my style is better than yours. But you, after all, are neither property nor style." End quote. What he's getting at is that our external circumstances don't define our true worth or inner well-being. Seneca, another Stoic philosopher, once said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." He tells us about a man who, fearing poverty, gives up his wealth voluntarily to experience it firsthand. This man discovers that the reality of poverty wasn't as terrible as his fear of it. This story aligns perfectly with Epictetus's teachings, showing us that our fears and societal labels often hold less power than we think. In conclusion, don't let society's labels and perceptions dictate your path. Focus on what truly matters: your inner happiness and freedom. Remember, it's not the external accolades that define you, but your inner resilience and peace. So, embrace your journey, even if it means being a loser in the eyes of the world, because in the realm of Stoicism, that might just be your biggest win. 6. The freedom in being a loser. Often we place immense value on external validation, such as public praise, reputation, and the opinions of others. However, these are fleeting, unreliable, and frankly not within our control. Epictetus, a sage of Stoicism, teaches us to view these societal measures for what they truly are: mere opinions, often based on delusion and false appearances. Imagine if we started seeing these external validations as they are, not as absolute truths, but as changeable and unreliable opinions. This shift in perspective can free us from the chains of societal expectations. It's not the state of being a loser that impacts our happiness and freedom. Rather, it's our relentless pursuit to avoid this label that does. Remember, as Epictetus profoundly said, "Let death and exile, and all other things which appear terrible, be daily before your eyes, but death chiefly, and you will never entertain any abject thought, nor too eagerly covet anything." This powerful quote reminds us of the impermanence of life and the futility of clinging to external validations. In life, every path comes with its own price. The critical question we must ask ourselves is, what price are we willing to pay? Are we ready to sacrifice our inner peace and freedom just to avoid being seen as less by others? Epictetus presents us with a stark choice: to live as a philosopher in tune with the wisdom of Stoicism, or to be one of the vulgar, swayed by every wind of societal opinion. As you listen, ponder this choice. reflect on the freedom that comes with being indifferent to societal judgments, and the peace that follows when we align our lives with the enduring wisdom of Stoicism. Remember, in the grand tapestry of life, being a loser in the eyes of society might just be the winning ticket to personal freedom and happiness. Verse 7. The price of philosophical living. Epictetus, a renowned Stoic philosopher who posits that true fulfillment lies not in external accolades, but in the serenity of one's inner world. Epictetus boldly declares that the pursuit of what society deems valuable, wealth, status, and external pleasures, often comes at the expense of our most precious assets, freedom, health, and inner peace. This societal rat race, epitomized by the relentless effort to keep up with the Joneses, is contrasted with the life of a philosopher. The philosopher, in Epictetus's view, willingly embraces a life that may appear simplistic and devoid of external pleasures, a lifestyle that might be perceived by many as that of a loser. Yet this apparent loss is in fact a profound gain in the Stoic sense. As Epictetus asserts, if you want to improve, reject such reasonings as these. If I neglect my affairs, I'll have no income. If I don't correct my servant, he will be bad. For it is better to die with hunger, exempt from grief and fear, than to live in affluence with perturbation, and it is better your servant should be bad than you unhappy. This philosophy extends to the concept of being unconquerable. To achieve this state, one must be prepared to lose everything, recognizing that any external attachment can control our mental state. This path is undoubtedly challenging, filled with obstacles, minimal external rewards, and often accompanied by derision and minimal recognition. Epictetus encapsulates this journey stating, "You'll have to forego your ease, work hard, leave people behind, be despised by menials, be laughed at, and get crumbs at best when it comes to recognition and position in all affairs." In modern life, where the pursuit of material success and societal validation is often paramount, this Stoic perspective offers a radical yet liberating alternative. It invites us to weigh the costs and benefits, the price of philosophical living versus the price of societal conformity. Epictetus's teachings challenge us to consider whether we are willing to pay the price for true peace, freedom, and tranquility. If not, he advises, we should steer clear of the philosophical path. This Stoic wisdom resonates deeply in our contemporary world, serving as a reminder that sometimes being a loser in the eyes of society might just be the key to winning in the realm of personal fulfillment and inner peace. 8. The irony of being a loser. Others mock you, perhaps even scorn you. On the surface, it's a grim picture, isn't it? Being seen as a loser seems like a position of weakness, a cause for pity. But let's flip the script and consider the unexpected perks of this label. When you're deemed a loser, you're not bound by the expectations and rules of others. You save the energy that you would have otherwise poured into chasing what Epictetus termed lesser things, just to be deemed adequate by society. In essence, the so-called loser gains by not paying the price of conforming. Ironically, this can be a winning strategy. Epictetus, a sage of Stoicism, teaches us a vital lesson here. He urges us to discern what truly matters and to steadfastly commit to it, undistracted by the allure of praise, wealth, power, or social status. He famously said, "Don't wish to be a general, or a senator, or a consul, but to be free. And the only way to this is a contempt of things not in our own control." This wisdom echoes through the ages, reminding us that true freedom lies in focusing on what we can control and letting go of what we cannot. Consider Seneca, who faced immense pressure and peril in the court of Nero. Despite his precarious position, Seneca remained true to his Stoic principles, focusing on his own moral integrity rather than the whims of a tyrant. His story teaches us that even in the face of adversity, maintaining our values and inner freedom is paramount. So, dear listener, as we wrap up this segment, remember this: being seen as a loser in the eyes of the world can be your hidden strength. It's an opportunity to break free from societal chains and focus on what truly matters, your own values and integrity. Embrace this perspective, and you might just find that in the grand scheme of things, you're winning at the game of life. Truth be told, almost everyone always hopes and wants to be the winner. The taste of defeat, to be honest, is not at all pleasant. From a young age, many children, sometimes unintentionally, sometimes deliberately, are taught by adults about competition. Going to school also becomes a competition. Everyone wants their child to be better than others. The rivalry is endless. For many people, every day is a battle. There are plenty of books teaching how to be a winner, but who teaches us how to be a loser? No, nobody teaches us how to be a loser. It's as if losing is a default program for those who fall behind in competitions, and it is something no one can bear. But what remains of sibling affection if brothers and sisters compete against each other? What warmth is left in a marriage if spouses are in constant competition? What remains of friendship if friends are always competing, leading to loneliness and estrangement? Even competing with oneself, comparing who you were yesterday with who you are today, can lead to a tomorrow filled with nothing but anxiety and low self-esteem. Why does no one teach us how to be a loser with our siblings, with our spouse, with our friends, and even with ourselves? Is it shameful to lose to them? Learning to be a loser is a way to learn serenity and contentment. It requires a lot of tolerance, to let go of the desire to always win, to be more sincere. Surely some would say, if life has no struggles, how can we improve? Struggle is also a way to survive. Without struggle, one would forever be left behind. That's true. So we keep struggling, keep competing. Competition becomes a way of life. In every struggle, there are leaders and followers, winners and losers, first and second places. Until when? Who will always win without ever losing? That's why we must learn to be a loser before learning how to win. Learning to be a loser starts with one's own family, spouse, friends, and oneself. Then learning to accept defeat in life's competitions. I believe those who haven't learned how to lose and accept defeat will never truly understand victory nor the meaning of winning. Learning to be a loser is to understand tolerance, the significance of others in our hearts. Accepting defeat from family members is the victory of family values. Accepting defeat from a spouse is the victory of a marriage. Accepting defeat from friends is the victory of friendship. Often victory and defeat are not determined in a single battle. Sometimes it takes an entire war to determine who is superior. So, don't let your ego become a barrier. Don't let pride blind you. Just go with the flow of your heart, and with a clear destination, you will never lose your way. 7 Essential Life Rules that very few people fully understand. These rules, though harsh, will undoubtedly serve as a compass guiding you to success in both your career and life. Each person lives by different rules. However, fundamentally, the most talented and successful people always have common foundational principles for their actions. However, most of us often feel uncomfortable with these rules and seldom choose to learn or understand them. Instead, we opt to repeat the same actions every day, yet we still always hope to make a difference. This is truly an unrealistic expectation, because if you want to create something special, to achieve what no one else has, you need to be bold and dare to do new things that no one else does. The first step is to fully understand the following 7 simple yet precise rules. 1. Life is a race, but there is no specific definition of victory. This may sound unbelievable, but it's true. We are all players trying to find our own way and win the complex game of life. We are also competing for similar goals like money, status, recognition, or the best outcome. People dress up to impress the ones they love, go to interviews to land the job they desire. Real competition exists in this life, and if you don't acknowledge it, you will only be a loser. Everything we need lies within the realm of competition, and the best things will go to those who are truly willing to fight for them, says Oliver Emberton, founder of Silktide, who is also a writer, pianist, programmer, and artist. In fact, the biggest opponent you should compete against is yourself, which helps you become a better version of yourself. This is also the healthiest competition, where you can win without anyone losing. Therefore, Set limits for yourself, then focus your competitive energy to achieve your own standards and expectations. And always remember that you must be proactive and steer your own path to success. Number 2. People judge and reward you based on results, not the process. A harsh truth of life is that what you think is less important than what you do. People don't criticize you for your thoughts, but they judge you based on your actions and the risks you dare to face. You write a book but don't publish it, no one cares. But when you release it, many want to know your story. Cancer researchers are less admired and celebrated than supermodels. A salesperson is judged based on their customer numbers. If you freelance, your income depends on the number of clients you have, and if you do online business, you need as many views as possible. Reading this, do you find it true? Just pay a little attention, and you can find countless similar examples, and then you will realize that life is indeed a game of numbers like that. Most people will judge you based on the outcome, not caring much about how hard you tried or struggled. Number 3. Winners possess a variety of skills. Life is about continuously acquiring and accumulating skills. Many skills you learn today may not be necessary tomorrow, but they will surely be useful in the future. Moreover, what helped you reach your current position might not take you to the next level you desire. Therefore, instead of mastering just one skill, you should grasp various skills. Be willing to learn new skills that seem unrelated, then combine them to enhance your capabilities and personal value. Tim Herrera of the New York Times shares, the core idea here is, instead of focusing your effort on becoming the best at a specific skill, you should strive to master multiple related skills that can be combined to form a larger skill set. This is what will make you exceptional in work and life. Number 4. Life is a long game, and your choices and decisions determine how far you go. We all typically leave this world after about 29,000 days or 80 years, and your daily choices determine your ultimate destination, whether it's happiness, health, fulfillment, or misery and poverty. If you apply the right rules at each stage of life, you might go a bit further. That's why your life strategy is so important. Number 5. Your happiness depends on you. The truth is that your happiness largely depends on your attitude rather than external things or circumstances. External things can help you live better, but they are certainly not the means to reach the destination of happiness. Therefore, if you expect others to make you happy, you will only end up disappointed. Instead of seeking joy from a person, an event, or an external factor, you should consider relationships or work as tools to create joy for yourself. At the same time, focus on ways you can spread joy to others. Number 6. If you are waiting for others to help you enjoy life, you are on the wrong path. Just sitting and hoping will not bring a fulfilling life to you. Therefore, do not wait for anyone or anything else, but try to find and enjoy the small and simple joys you discover. These seemingly simple and small things are often the most extraordinary, and sometimes they help you manage life more easily. The way you use your time each day is also the way you live your life. The habit of finding joy in small things can change your life, and that is the true joy. 7. Life is not a sprint or a marathon, it is a maze that requires reason and perseverance to escape from. You should not treat life as a sprint, nor think that you can put all your effort at one point in time and then quickly reach the final goal. Because in reality, life does not have any signs or directions, and there are no straight paths to the goal. Life is simply a maze of uncertain choices, challenges, and problems. This maze is influenced by many external factors, both good and bad. Once we step into this maze of life, no matter who we are, we will surely get lost and be hindered at times. However, whether we know when to stop and reconsider, then find the right path or not, will differentiate the winners from the losers. You know, we only have 2 ways to improve our lives. 1 is to move forward when possible, and 2 is to pause to reconsider our decisions and try a new direction. The biggest mistake many people make is staying in one place for too long. They encounter obstacles but choose to give up, even to the point of suicide, instead of thinking carefully about everything. They do not realize that there is always light at the end of the tunnel to get us out of trouble. It's just that we haven't found it or refused to look for it. As we come to the end of this insightful journey through the philosophy of Epictetus and the concept of embracing the role of a loser, it's important to reflect on the profound lessons we've explored. We've delved into the Stoic perspective, challenging societal norms and redefining what it means to succeed and fail in life. We've learned that true victory often lies in what the world may perceive as defeat, and that inner peace and contentment are far more valuable than external accolades and approval. Now I invite you, our valued viewers, to pause and ponder these teachings. Ask yourself, what does success truly mean to you? Are you willing to embrace the freedom that comes from stepping away from societal expectations and focusing on your inner values and virtues? Remember, it's not about winning or losing in the eyes of the world, but about finding your own path to happiness and fulfillment. If you found value in this video, if it has sparked a new perspective or inspired you to think differently, I encourage you to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support means the world to us and helps us continue to bring you thought-provoking content. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you won't miss our upcoming videos, where we'll continue to explore life-changing philosophies and ideas. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Remember, in the grand scheme of life, being a loser in the eyes of society might just be your greatest victory. Embrace your path, stay true to your values, and let's continue to grow and learn together. Until next time, keep pondering, keep questioning, and keep striving for a life of meaning and fulfillment.